Hey y'all, this is Lindsay Tabus, Lady Engineer, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of observing your ideal customer when they experience the problem you are trying to solve for them. So oftentimes early stage entrepreneurs come to me and they say they have done market validation because they can find statistics that show that the problem exists, that a lot of people experience X and it is painful. But before you can go into figuring out a solution, it's really important to go observe your target audience when they experience that problem to see how they solve that problem themselves right now and what they're doing in that moment so that your solution can be adapted appropriately so that they can actually use it. So let me give you a few examples of what I mean by observing and then the importance of observing. So first and foremost, I think we can all say that once upon a time, we have been waiting in line to board an airplane. And as we're getting on that airplane, the line of passengers builds up. We get on the airplane, people are sitting in all different places, and many of us come up with like a better way to seat passengers, right? Likewise, if we're in line to get a frappuccino or a latte at Starbucks, we kind of see that Starbucks has a very specific process for customers to order things. And if we sit long enough, we can see a few things that we would fix, changes we would make. But there's a clear kind of order of operations. So first and foremost, if you ever just want to observe problems in the wild, these are two situations where you probably can easily see the problems and figure out what the solutions are. All right, so now here are three examples of why observation is important early on. The first one was back in 2012, I was head of UX research and UX design for a white label content management system that media companies used. So we were an enterprise B2B SaaS platform back in 2012. I decided that I would like to go see my users using the product we already had to see and hear their complaints real time as they were using our product. Well, as I hung out in the office for an hour and a half with three younger women who used this content management platform, I was privy several times to them talking smack on their boss, to them showing me all the different software that they had to use and how annoying it was to move from one to the other. And so, if anything, I walked away that day with empathy for how much pain they had all day, how much their job sucked, and how much I did not want to make the software make their job suck more. Okay, that's an easy one. Just that empathy makes me a better designer. Now, I have another example with a customer, past client of mine. Allison Mountford, I mentioned her a few times in some other videos. I'll link to them in the comments. Founder of Ends and Stems. She makes meal plans that use up all the food that a family buys. This way, they are able to reduce food waste. Well, one of the reasons or ways that we came to the conclusion that putting together meal plans was going to help young moms and young families was that we really saw them in grocery stores. And so we tried to not be too creepy doing this, but like hang back and see a mom. She has, one or two kids. They're grabbing stuff off the shelf. One might be crying. She's sitting there looking at a bunch of different boxes, nutrition labels, trying to figure out like organic, conventional, like free range, vegetarian, fed, canned, or fresh, and we came up with this term called the hierarchy of cares, right? What's most important to you? Buying local, buying fresh, there's so many things to care about that it's really confusing. So that by the time a mother moves her way out of the grocery store, she's just not thinking, did I buy too much parsley? Right? And having that observation was so powerful because we could come to the conclusion that educating moms on what to do with leftover parsley wasn't really going to go a long way because they just had no more energy after working through the hierarchy of all the other cares. So the third example, I was hired by a telecommunications company to go into several of their consumer stores in malls to see what kind of hurdles the company was creating for their frontline in-store employees in delivering great customer service. And one of the things I was able to see after sitting in a store for 6 hours, there were many things that I observed. One was that customers coming in to pay their bills at the self-serve kiosk did everything they could to avoid talking to any of the employees and greeters. They just automatically knew they were going to be sold to, and so they would come into the store, take a quick left, hang out all the way on the store, around the perimeter, next to the wall, avoiding eye contact until they got to the back of the store to use the self-checkout. Okay, so that was one thing, was like, we should just let people come in and out. We should not try to stop them and sell to them. The other thing that I could see was that even though all the store employees had iPads, they were always running into the back of the store, and they were there for many minutes, long enough that a customer would be like, oh my God, what am I waiting on? Well, come to figure out that the company had removed all the desktop computers in the store, given everyone iPads, but there were just some things that could not be done on that iPad. So they were going into the back room, waiting in line to use the one desktop, and this was increasing the amount of time that a customer was waiting on that employee to be serviced for their phone or their phone plan. So that's a huge problem that we need to fix. So I hope those 3 examples show you or illustrate to you why it's important to go see your customers and observe them as they're using their product or as they're doing the thing you're trying to help them with, like in Allison's case, helping them with food waste. Grocery shopping is a huge part of that, so going to watch them is really important. So one more time, make sure you incorporate observing people as they experience the problem you're trying to help them solve. All right, that was a longer than usual one, but feel free to keep looking through all my market and customer research videos, and I hope that this tip helps you in understanding what your solution really needs to be in order to be a smash in the marketplace.